As a dedicated Bungie shill, I figured it was my turn to throw my opinion out there regarding the state of Destiny 2. And for reference, I'm only calling myself a shill or a glazer because I've been enjoying their games for over 20 years, and I'm usually one that tries to look for the positives in the things that they do. And don't worry, I'm well aware of how crazy that is to say right now. Now, why should you care about my opinion? Well, you really shouldn't, or at least not as much as the next player out there. But it's no surprise that Destiny 2 is not doing too hot right now. And I've made and responded to plenty of videos with my own constructive criticism over the years, and I always generally try to have a positive outlook and understand that for 11 years, this game has had many things to be pissed about, but it's still a fun-ass game. And I also understand that the gaming community as a whole takes some things way too seriously and overblows some issues to make them seem bigger than they are. I've been playing Bungie games since I was a young, innocent child, slaying zombified human atrocities in the classic Halo series. Even this channel started and continues to occasionally be a Halo channel. I have plenty of cringy montages on here from 16 years ago. And after Bungie was done with Halo, I've been a relatively dedicated Destiny player since the Destiny 1 beta. I have been there for the best of times, and I am here now, in the worst of times. So, there's my credentials. Now, skipping to the modern era of Destiny, my perspective on the game is pretty similar to the vocal online community. The portal is a big topic of contention, and as a concept, I'm not against the portal, but I feel it should be a tool and not a replacement. 90% of the game has been rendered nearly useless in regards to the power grind, and all old activity gear is not useless, but it isn't adapted to the new gear tier system, which makes it just feel inferior. Not to mention, any old activity that is introduced into the portal just drops the same boring-ass portal loot and not any specific loot to those activities, like dungeon layers or whatever the hell they're called. I enjoy the concept of the portal because, similar to Halo, I like to customize my own challenge and have a fresh experience when replaying a mission. And some people hate replaying missions, but I mean, Halo got away with it. They had like, 10 missions per campaign on each game? But we replayed the hell out of them because you could also add in skulls and change the modifiers and do new things. So I think it's great because Destiny has so much content that you maybe play once and you never play again. So the portal, I thought, was a good way to, bring those activities back into the fold and change them up a little bit. Add some Banes, add some champions, do some weird modifiers, and just make it feel fresh. The issue is, I'm not having a fresh experience. If you want to efficiently grind power to get high tier gear, you have to run the same fastest activities 100 times with the same modifiers and the same loadouts. Sure, you don't have to, but then it's just going to take you twice, 3 times, 4 times as long to hit your goals. Now, to Bungie's credit, they have been and are continuing to tune the portal rewards so it'll be more efficient to ping pong around and play different things, but this just leads to another greater issue: gear tiers. I for one think that the new gear tier system is actually pretty cool, and it's actually reinvigorated the loot chase for me. The problem is though, is to get higher tier gear you have to increase your power level by grinding those activities over and over. Now sure, that concept isn't new to Destiny, but it feels especially dull with the current portal system, and I feel like if you play a Grandmaster activity, you should be guaranteed higher tier loot. But it's not like that. Your tier is tied to your power level, so if you don't optimize correctly, which is probably more than half of the Destiny player base right now, then you're going to find yourself suffering through multiple hours of the same activities, only to get like a tier 3 drop of a weapon because you're only level 380 instead of 400. A tier 3 is fine, but we're Destiny players, obviously we want the tier 4 or 5, so instead of getting to run a Grandmaster activity with a bunch of modifiers to earn the high tier, you have to run about 50 more activities to get your power up, and then you can earn the tier 4 after playing that Grandmaster activity with a bunch of modifiers. I feel like it should be a combo, as in if you do hard tier content, you get higher tier gear. Or you have the option to just play a long grind and only play the things that you like, maybe at just your level so it's not too hard, and you'll eventually get the tier 4s or 5s, but it'll just take a while. I feel like both of these systems can coexist. Do hard things or play a long time, either way you're going to get high tier stuff. But right now you have to do both. And actually once you're at the high level you can just keep repeating easy activities and getting tier 5s, so that actually kind of eliminates the do harder content, get higher rewards. Also regarding the portal, I don't think it should be the only thing there is to do, obviously. The concept of the portal is cool, having featured activities with featured gear rotating in, and being able to quickly hop into an activity to get straight into the action. It's pretty nice for people who don't have a lot of time to play, like me. But it should really exist alongside of the Director. The Director is just iconic to Destiny, and it's a shame that it's just sitting there collecting dust. Bring back the option to get pinnacles from Strikes, Gambit, replayable campaign missions, raids, dungeons, even Dares of Eternity. I get it that this dilutes the matchmaking pool, but so does doing whatever the hell else they've been doing. Logging on every week to see what the new rotators are was part of the fun of Destiny, honestly. And now it feels like a weekly reset is kind of pointless. There's really nothing new. There's nothing new in the portal. There's nothing rotating in. Like, what's the point? Removing the Pathfinder and bounties and reward tracks was also a dumb idea. There were reasons to visit the tower and provided more options to grind for more things. Without them, the Destiny universe just feels lifeless. Everybody is playing alone, grinding solo missions for power, and while those things are being fixed, it already drove enough players away. The problem with Destiny is whenever anything is changed or fixed, it seems like half the people don't even know about it because they already left. So leveling and the portal have issues, and I know that they'll probably be worked out in due time since that's what Destiny does. Which is just another issue I've always had with Destiny. They never seem to be able to lock down a leveling system, but I'm gonna move on to something else. The bugs and glitches this year have been crazy. Constant glitches and broken items make creating builds and actually leveling up difficult. I understand that they laid off a bunch of their QA department, which had to be the most brain-dead thing they could have ever done. I mean, Destiny is huge. There are so many damn missions and pieces of gear that interact differently with each other. There's bound to be glitches. And some of the rare ones I can give a pass to. But there's just been so many more lately, like, how the hell do they miss this type of bugs? It's insane. You need to hire more QA people again. I don't know why they were laid off. It's a crucial part of Destiny. You need them. The players cannot just find every glitch for you. And another topic is PvP. I know a lot of people don't play it, but it just sucks, you know? Bungie were pioneers in PvP before Destiny, and they clearly lost their magic. I mean, Tyson Green, the new game director, he was the multiplayer lead and Forge lead for Halo 3. My favorite Halo ever, where I've spent hours upon hours in Forge and playing custom games and matchmaking in there, and it's just lost on Destiny. I don't get it. Cheaters run rampant, playlists get stagnant, and there's just a clear lack of innovation. I made a video earlier this year saying how Bungie is making PvP fun again. Well, that video clearly aged like milk. It seemed like they were on the right track, providing sandbox updates with their dedicated PvP strike team. Where have they been at, by the way? They released a free map pack, experimented with a big team battle mode, and more. But it's like they just forgot all of that. Where are the interesting game modes? Granted, to be fair, Destiny PvP players hate anything that isn't Control and Clash, but come on. Halo had a playlist called Action Sack, which was a mix of fun minigame modes. Destiny could really use more variety playlists like that. I mean, think of it. We have Eruption, Rift, Sparrow Control, Heavy Metal, Relic, Tribute, Team Scorched, and more. But they either rotate in occasionally or just completely forgotten about. But PvP carried Halo for years. Hell, I still play Halo 3 online to this day. The social features and the variety of gameplay made that game iconic. Destiny has been occasionally trying with some of their playlists that like remove your abilities or force you to use new gear only, which I'm actually fine with. It's different, it's fresh. Now they just need to try more things out, like a Fiesta mode, where every time you respawn you have random abilities on or random weapons or something. A big team battle, or even an abilities only mode with no weapons. I don't know, anything to freshen this shit up. So just have a variety of game types, fix the cheating problem, and just make it rewarding, and you've got yourself an easy win. You pretty much have all of that in the game already. Take advantage of it. Another issue I have is these self-contained destination abilities. Edge of Fate and it looks like Renegades have destination-specific abilities. I don't mind having them, but man, I can't help but feel it really takes dev time away from innovating our main abilities. Stasis and Strand need new supers, grenades, melees and aspects, and some of the light subclasses need additional melees and aspects as well. These should be priority number one over destination abilities. Start it now, with a relatively easy addition that I'm sure most people might hate, but it's something. Make the Matterspark ability from Kepler an alternative ability for Transcendence on the Prismatic subclass. Just giving 1 or 2 new options a season does more for the sandbox than you can imagine. I mean, just look at episode Heresy with the addition of 1 new aspect and a new arc keyword. It made everything feel fresh as hell. Just keep that coming. So those are some of my biggest issues with the current state of Destiny 2. And do you know what I'm doing about it? I'm addressing them, I'm providing my feedback and ideas, and I'm going to take a break when I'm not having fun. Imagine that, taking a break from the game I like until things improve. I really think a lot of people need to start doing that. This doesn't have to be the only game you play, and it does not have to be your entire personality. And in that lies another big issue with the game, and that's the aura around it. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say next. Bungie got themselves into this mess, yada yada yada. Problem is, the online community around Destiny is such a toxic cesspool of terminally online cretins that say that they hate Destiny, but spend every day online posting and commenting about how Destiny's dead, and you're a paid shill if you play the game. I understand being upset because the game isn't what you like anymore, but hell, move on then. Some of the top, most passionate creators are leaving the game or taking a break at this time, yet the people that have been shitting on Destiny for years still continue to play it, or at least revolve around the community, spreading their misery to others. And yeah, Destiny's had problems, and has had many more now. I just listed my biggest gripes. But guess what? It's survived 11 years for a reason. The gunplay is stellar, the ability sandbox is amazing, the environments are stunning, the music is superb, and so much more. There's so much cool content in this game, and new people who play it still discover it and have a blast. But most people just don't take it too seriously. It's a fucking video game. Play it when it's fun, take a break when it's not. That's what I've done. You can see from my season ranks that I took multiple breaks over the years, and sometimes at the wrong time, apparently. I'm mature enough to admit I love Destiny, and I love it enough to take a break when things get hairy. But so many people seem to have to announce their departure like a fucking airport. I've been a day one alpha player who has 12,000 hours and I'm done. They post that on every social media platform every 6 months, trying to garner attention or some weird form of sympathy like they just kicked heroin. Or they quit 6 years ago because they had better things to do. Like comment on every Destiny post about how bad the game is. You know, better things. And yeah, people can be like, well, just ignore all that. Who cares what toxic trolls do online? And generally I agree, and I do ignore most of it. But it's just created such a, toxic, radioactive aura around Destiny. And it just drives people away who've never tried the game, or they hear about it like, oh, that looks kind of good. And then they look at the comments or something, and every single comment is, dead game, piece of shit game, Bungie's terrible, blah, blah, blah. So you're affecting the game because the people I could be playing with and having fun with, you're just going to drive them away because you don't like the game anymore and can't move on. So that's kind of why I'm addressing this part. But my point here is the toxicity around Destiny is at an all-time high. It's literally radioactive to talk about it. I mean, they just came out with like the best raid ever, and the best raid boss ever in the epic raid, and nobody gives a shit. All of the creators and people watching are like, wow, this is great. And as soon as you post that online, there's a swarm of people who just can't get Destiny out of their head, just ready to go in there and be like, whatever, who cares, no one's playing it anyways, dead game. I mean, yes, Bungie fucked up with the implementation of the portal, but the core game you liked is still there. Leveling sucks, but you can still have fun with the sandbox. Provide your feedback, take a break, come back later to see if they fix the things you don't like. Too many people have had issues with an aspect of the new game system that were introduced this year, and instead of just saying they don't like it and they'll be back when it's fixed, they say, that's it! They ruined it! I quit! Instead of just giving them a fucking second to address and fix the issue. Nope, just jump to the most dire conclusions. And don't give me that, if they didn't change everything, then it wouldn't need to be fixed. We've been playing for 11 years and all I ever see online is how they need to freshen things up. It's like some Destiny players say they want things to change, but at the same time, they want everything to stay the same. But Bungie doesn't listen to us. Well, they do, but there's just a lot of types of players in this game. Casuals, seasoned, grinders, streamers, and everyone in between. Plus, I'm sure the devs would like to listen, but it's not all of them making these decisions. It's the corporate suits, which I will be on board with you. They're awful. And don't pretend like this is a new issue either. If you've been playing forever, you would know that this game has been evolving and changing its systems forever. Everybody wants a D3, but what would that even look like? They've revamped the subclasses, armor stats, weapons, and so much more. It's an ever-evolving sandbox, and if it's not for you anymore, so be it. I don't like The Walking Dead anymore, but I don't hang around in every comment section of The Walking Dead post just to tell everyone in there that what they like is trash and it became such a shitty show. That would be pretty pathetic, but it doesn't stop people in the Destiny community. It's just sad because if you truly like Destiny, you would wish the best for it. Yet people have such a hateful hard-on for Bungie and relish whenever they fuck up, no matter how small. And if there is a win, people are quick to call you a Bungie shill or a glazer if you acknowledge it. Personally, I think it's too far gone for Destiny, which is just sad. They make solid content when they're able to, but I just think that they've been stretched so thin nowadays. I don't blame the devs because they work with what they got. It's the corporate greed that got us to where we are today, and they'll never recover. And the joke's on them because the hate will continue with Marathon. And the suits are just too stupid to see that they are the issue. But they'll make their bag and run while leaving the devs in the community to suffer in the aftermath of their greed. It's all about engagement and numbers to them. They could care less if people are having a good time. And it's a shame because there's no other game that scratches the same itch as Destiny can. And I really hope that Bungie pulls out all the stops and turns this ship around. Unfortunately, a lot of players just couldn't care less. I mean, just look at the final shape. It delivered on everything a Destiny player would want, and it just wasn't enough. Even in this expansion, I mean, some of the things I liked gear tiering. I liked the reworked stat system for armor. I liked the armor set bonuses. I like the idea of the portal and being able to edit modifiers and stuff. And I actually think that Renegades looks pretty sick, and I really don't give a shit about Space Wars or Darth Vader or whatever the fuck. I just want more Destiny, more aliens to shoot and more tools to shoot them with. I'm excited to try out what they've been cooking, and I'll continue to take breaks and provide feedback when I'm not digging things. I'll continue to not blow every damn issue out of proportion like the folks on Reddit and Twitter do. I think most people just need to stop listening and letting their feelings get influenced by these chronically online Destiny haters that seem to like hating Destiny more than you like playing it. Speaking of, I tried out Twitter to try to reach more of an audience out there, and goddamn, you people are another breed. You make Redditors look like level-headed civil diplomats, and it's honestly pretty pathetic. But I'm just done with that. I've never cared too much about it, so it's gone. Too much negativity, just miss me with that shit. Delete. I'm going to live my life now and play Destiny when I feel like it because it's a video game, and I'm an adult. Anyways, if you're still here, thanks for listening to my rant. I figured it would be nice to give another perspective from someone who has been playing forever, doesn't take things too seriously, but also wants to see their favorite video game succeed. And I hope to see you in orbit someday once again. Thank you for watching.